The first human I ever killed was already dead when he pulled the trigger. That was the moment my understanding of warfare shattered. When a creature bleeding out on a frozen moon still found the will to end me, smiling through broken teeth as if death itself were just another tool in his arsenal. I was a soldier of the Karth Dominion, trained across 6 star systems, hardened by logic and probability. Humans were supposed to be fragile, emotional, predictable, but nothing about that moment fit the briefings. And that was only the beginning. I am Veilthur of the 3rd Memory Cohort, one of the last surviving veterans of the Human Dominion War. Long after the ceasefire, long after Earth was quarantined behind layers of forbidden space, they asked me to record my memories for history, they said. For warning, because no one believed the reports. Not until it was far too late. Our first contact with humanity occurred at the edge of the Orion Spur, near a blue planet cataloged as Sol 3. The scan showed a species barely crawling beyond its home star, divided, inefficient, emotionally unstable. High Council projections estimated total planetary pacification in 72 standard hours. We laughed. We planned. We advanced. What we didn't know, what no algorithm predicted, was how humans treat war not as a calculation, but as a story they refused to let end. The opening engagement was clean. Orbitals disabled. Communication relays shattered. Their satellites fell like dying birds, burning up in atmospheric firestorms that painted the night sky red. From orbit, Earth looked beautiful, peaceful. Then the ground war began. Humans didn't retreat when faced with overwhelming force. They advanced, not strategically, emotionally. Entire units charged fortified Karth positions with outdated weapons, screaming names into the smoke, names of loved ones, of cities, of ideas. I watched one human commander detonate his own power core just to collapse a tunnel we were advancing through. No tactical value, just denial. What are they gaining? One of my clutch brothers asked. I had no answer. None of US did. By the 3rd week, probability models were failing. Humans adapted faster than our learning matrices. They scavenged our dead for technology, reverse-engineered weapons mid-battle, and booby-trapped their own cities, turning hospitals, schools, even memorials into killing fields. But the most disturbing part wasn't the ingenuity. It was the intention. Humans didn't fight to win. They fought to make sure we remembered them. On the ice moon Kepri 9, I encountered Captain Elias Rourke. Our intel flagged him as non-essential. A morale officer, no genetic enhancements, no command-level authority. He should have fled when our walkers breached the settlement. Instead, he waited. Rourke triggered an electromagnetic burst that disabled my squad shields, then opened fire with ballistic rifle sentries obsolete. My clutch brothers fell one by one, not because of superior weaponry, but because Rourke refused to stop advancing, even after losing an arm. When I finally struck him down, impaling his torso, he looked at me, not with fear but relief. You came all this way, he whispered, blood freezing on his lips. Good. Now you'll carry us with you. Then he fired the pistol hidden beneath his ribs. What I saw next changed everything. The bullet didn't kill me, but the data spike did. Embedded in the round was a memory shard, compressed neural recordings of human warfare history. Not tactics, experiences, pain, loss, resolve, millions of years of conflict, poured directly into my mind in seconds. I screamed for 9 hours. The Dominion classified the incident, but it was too late. Other soldiers reported similar encounters. Humans were seeding themselves, turning their own deaths into weapons of psychological contamination. War wasn't just being fought on planets. It was being fought inside us. At the midpoint of the campaign, the High Council issued a new directive: total annihilation, no prisoners, no ground occupation, crack the planet if necessary. That order should have ended it. Instead, it broke us. Human transmissions flooded open channels, unfiltered, final messages, children singing, soldiers apologizing, scientists laughing as they launched desperate countermeasures they knew wouldn't work. And beneath it all, a single repeating phrase, broadcast from Earth's surface into the void. If you're hearing this, remember us. Around 47% into war, our sensors detected something impossible. Earth's magnetic field was fluctuating, not collapsing, but synchronizing. Human networks across the planet were linking minds, pooling emotion, grief, and defiance into a planetary-scale signal. They weren't building a weapon. They were becoming one. None of us were prepared for the truth. When the Dominion fleet moved to fire the planet killers, our systems froze. Every ship, every station, Dominion tech, supposedly incorruptible, was locked out by a signal that carried no code, only meaning, human meaning. I felt it again. That weight, that unbearable refusal to disappear. Our soldiers began to hesitate, to question, to dream. And in war, hesitation is death. The final confrontation didn't happen over Earth. It happened above it, when Dominion Command realized we could no longer pull the trigger. Human memories had changed us. We no longer saw Sol 3 as a target. We saw it as a grave we would never escape. The ceasefire was declared in silence. No victory ceremonies. No triumph. Just retreat. Earth was sealed behind interdiction fields, declared a forbidden world. Officially, humanity was extinct. Unofficially, they won. I was one of the few allowed to live, tasked with remembering, with warning future generations why no one must ever provoke what remained behind that quarantine. Because humans didn't defeat us with strength or technology. They defeated us by ensuring that even in death, they would never stop fighting. Now, cycles later, I record this not as a soldier, but as a witness. The Dominion has forgotten many wars. Empires rise. Empires fall. But every car child knows the same story whispered in training halls and nightmare chambers alike. If you ever face a human, make sure they're truly dead, because if they aren't, they will follow you forever.